Ford's CEO says this new battery could destroy the whole EV industry. This electric vehicle, EV industry, is packed with stiff competition. And Ford isn't planning to sit around and get run over. Not if its CEO has something to say about it. The man in charge has disclosed some information regarding a new battery for some of the carmaker's models and has claimed it will destroy the entire EV industry. Keep watching this video to get the full scoop. What you need to know. According to Ford CEO Jim Farley, the auto giant plans to offer iron phosphate battery choices for the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning. This is all in a bid to help the company reach its goal of producing 2 million electric vehicles annually by late 2026. And this could pose a strong threat to Tesla, who is arguably the biggest EV maker in the world. Ford is already talking about where it will get the battery production capacity and the basic raw materials to power all of those electric vehicles. Ford anticipates having a sufficient battery supply by late 2023 to facilitate the assembly of 270,000 Mustang Mach-E's, 150,000 Transit EVs, 150,000 F-150 Lightnings, and 30,000 units of a mysterious, all-new mid-size SUV planned for introduction in Europe. What Ford didn't say was that the Ford Blue division, which is now in charge of the company's legacy industries powered by internal combustion engines, is going to lay off as many as 8,000 workers in the near future. Why would this be a problem to Tesla? Updates to the batteries powering the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning EVs are an integral component of Ford's plans. Contemporary Amperex technology lithium iron phosphate batteries will be standard on the Mach-E in 2023 and the F-150 Lightning in 2024. Ford claims these, which use chemistry comparable to Tesla's, will be accessible alongside existing nickel cobalt manganese batteries. Most normal-range Tesla vehicles are powered by lithium iron phosphate, LFP, batteries, which do not include nickel or cobalt, according to the company's Q1 earnings report from earlier this year. Ford will follow suit, utilizing LFP batteries for standard-range battery packs due to their low cost and relatively low energy density. Ford claims that between the new packs, the doubled capacity at LG Energy Solutions Wrocław, Poland production facility, and additional cell production capacity from SK On, it now has all of the battery cell production capacity it needs to build 600,000 electric cars and trucks annually by late 2023. Are the guys at Tesla feeling the jitters yet? Ford signed a separate non-binding Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, with battery giant CATL to explore a cooperation for constructing batteries across China, Europe, and North America, all with an eye toward achieving its goal of producing 2 million EVs worldwide by late 2026. There are also agreements with mining firms to directly acquire raw materials, such as most of the nickel needed through 2026 and beyond, in addition to the battery operations in Kentucky and Tennessee that were already disclosed. What else should worry Tesla? Well, Ford has announced a $50 billion investment in electric vehicles until 2026. That's a gigantic sum of money that should keep the competition worried. Is Tesla in danger? With Ford pushing hard with their new battery plans for 2023 and beyond, a huge question comes to mind. Is Tesla in danger? Tesla's biggest headaches. Tesla Motors is one of the most intriguing publicly traded firms in the world and is often regarded as a high-risk, high-reward company. The company's Silicon Valley background and the notoriety of its founder, Elon Musk, have raised the bar for Tesla's performance. In 2021, when it became the only business in the world to have a market cap of $1 trillion, Tesla became even more of a media darling. But as exciting as Tesla's potential is, predicting its future is still challenging. Investors in TSLA would be wise to keep their expectations realistic and think about the challenges the company could face in the next 5 to 10 years, especially now that competitors like Ford Motors are making major moves for the future. Here are some of the challenges that Tesla faces. Number 1, prices of Tesla vehicles are high, for most people anyway. In spite of government rebates and tax credits for alternative technology, the base price of a Tesla Model S as of November 22 is still a hefty $94,990. Even the Model 3, Tesla's new, cheaper choice, still costs $43,990, making it unaffordable for the vast majority of potential customers. In all fairness to the company, the cost of producing these automobiles is reflected in their high retail prices. Tesla lost about $14,000 on each Model 3 it sold in 2018, according to an estimate by Vertical Group analyst Gordon Johnson. However, this loss could decrease as the company expands. Number 2. It's possible Tesla will soon need new batteries. The lack of batteries to power their EVs was an early challenge for Tesla management. Although Tesla's battery dilemma is expected to be resolved after the company finishes building its world-famous Gigafactory in Sparks, Nevada. More than 500,000 Tesla vehicles per year are expected to be produced with the help of the new lithium-ion manufacturing factory, which will have a footprint of more than 1.9 million square feet. It remains to be seen if the Gigafactory can be finished on schedule, as large-scale projects like this one often face logistical or regulatory challenges. The good news for Tesla is that the government of Nevada approved the Gigafactory, which will boost the state's economy by $100 billion annually within the next few decades. Sadly, the facility is only 30% built, and Elon Musk has cited that multiple Gigafactories may be necessary to meet up with consumer demand. To add to this, in order to keep the business running and satisfy the investors, massive capital expenditures will be required. Number 3, low gas prices. The decline in petroleum prices in 2014 and 2015 dimmed the appeal of Tesla. Of course, Tesla's goods face competition from gasoline-powered vehicles, and as gas prices fall, gasoline-powered vehicles become more financially viable. To be detrimental to TSLA stock prices, low gas prices only need to be low enough to keep older vehicles on the road. Tesla now faces a gas problem on 2 fronts at once. The first issue is rising oil production around the world. The once dominant peak oil theory appears to be disproven, with annual increases in global oil production from 2009 to 2019. Companies in the oil industry are getting better at both locating oils and extracting it, thanks to advancement in techniques like hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling. The availability of petroleum is growing, while at the same time, internal combustion engines are becoming more efficient. In fact, the average fuel efficiency of light-duty passenger cars in the United States keeps rising, as reported by the Bureau of Transportation Statistics. Tesla needs to significantly increase car sales if it is to continue being a mainstream automaker with stable cash flow. And keeping petroleum-based fuels at a significant discount reduces the incentive for consumers to switch to electric vehicles. Number 4, more models, more choices, and more competition for electric cars. Contrary to popular belief, Tesla is not the first automaker to market electric vehicles. Interestingly, Thomas Davenport invented the first electric automobile in 1834, although Tesla appears to be the most successful name in the business to date. The Chevrolet Bolt and the Nissan Leaf, 2 notable competitors, struggled to achieve early momentum due to their expensive retail prices and short range. As of October 2021, the base price of a Nissan Leaf is $27,400, and it can go a maximum of 226 miles on a single charge. In October of 2021, the standard range of a Tesla Model 3 is 220 miles, while the base model of the Chevrolet Bolt costs $31,000 before incentives and has a range of 259 miles. Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, Subaru, Ford, and BMW are among the automakers who have announced plans to enter the electric vehicle industry in the next few years. This would surely lead to increased competition for Tesla's EVs. Apple also thinks it can compete with Tesla in the transportation market, and even Google has made bets on the auto industry. This means other digital companies may decide to jump into the conflict. You can bet that Tesla is well aware of the threat posed by companies with larger current customer bases. Number 5, Tesla's huge expenditures may never be recovered. Elon Musk once famously said, "We are going to spend staggering amounts of money on CapEx." And while high capital expenditures are appealing to many investors, they may be justified in the end. This is especially true to a new business where many previous attempts have ended in failure. The battery factory will add to the already enormous sums Tesla has spent on developing the Model 3 and Model X. Tesla predicted an increase in capital expenditures to $4.5 to $6 billion annually in its SEC filing for the first quarter of 2021. The company has also indicated in SEC filings that annual capital expenditures could reach $7 billion by 2023. So guys, how much of a problem do you think Ford's new batteries will be for Tesla? We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching.